My beloved constituents of Macknight and Central Basseterre. Like you, I am extremely outraged and profoundly disturbed at the recent uptick in crime and tragic acts of violence against our people, particularly those from and in the Macknight and surrounding areas. Reports of every new loss weighs heavily on all our hearts. Crime is not one problem. In fact, it is many difficult problems linked to one another, the solutions to which, therefore, must be linked in a strategic and unified approach. There is some evidence to suggest that many of the murders we have seen in the recent weeks were related to gang activities and retaliation. The fact that violence is gang-related does not and should not by any means reduce our grief. Those lost to violence belonged to all of us. Today, I want to talk about some of the immediate steps that are being taken to reduce the proliferation of illegal weapons on our streets in the Central Basseterre communities and to disrupt the violence. Our communities in Macknight and Central Basseterre need more manpower and more resources. I continue in this regard to advocate on the cabinet level for the good people of Central Basseterre. I have advocated for the increase of police presence in hotspots, with saturation patrols for as long as they are necessary, so as to ensure that our people are safe in their homes and on the streets. I have heard the cries of the mothers, sisters, brothers, fathers, and neighbors who continue to reach out, and I share in your pain and grief. I have the full support of the cabinet, and we have agreed to increase access to mental health services and mental health education through our public health system and community-based initiatives. Specifically, a special team is being put in place to assist our grieving families and community members with the psychological support that is needed to get us through these tragic and unfortunate events. In recent weeks, we have done some work at the Irishtown Primary School and have increased patrols at the temporary school sites so that our schools are safer for all our children, teachers, and staff. In the upcoming weeks, I intend to engage with the recently commissioned National Security Task Force to discuss how our communities can benefit from this initiative. I welcome any suggestions, comments, or observations that are deemed to be necessary and, of course, relevant as we continue to work together for the good of the people of Macknight and Central Basseterre. Let me just say before I close that one of the final things that need to happen in our nation and in our communities is that we must take crime and violence out of the competitive political space and place it as a national priority. Macknighters and all of us in Central Basseterre deserve safer streets, safer schools and communities. We all have a role to play. For those of you who despair but believe the problem is someone else's to solve, I urge you to get involved. Volunteer in your neighborhood. Look out for each other's children. Pray together. And then outside of the church's walls, work together to help those who are in crisis. The past few weeks have been difficult, but we can all work together to lift each other and to lift our beloved Macknight and our Central Basseterre. I remain committed to serving and working for you. Thank you so much for your time today.